Jessica Brevard, and this is Kitchen Table Productions, a show all about low carb. Well, this month I promised my friend Raz that February would be chocolate month in honor of Valentine's Day. So I'm going to start this off with my very first recipe. It's a nice guilt-free low-carb fudge. It's easy to make and it is really yummy. I'm going to show you how to do that right now. Okay, here's my pot. It's the smallest one I have, and I'm putting it here over low heat, just as low as I can get it. I really want gentle heat for this. And I'm going to start with 1/4 cup of unsalted butter. Very important to be unsalted. And as you can see, I cut it into these little pats. That'll help it melt faster. And I'm going to add to that 1 tablespoon of salted butter. Now the reason I'm doing this is I want a little bit of salt, but it's hard to control that little amount of salt. If you want to, you could certainly just maybe throw in a pinch with your unsalted butter. That would work too. But I prefer this way. It's just easier to deal with. Now I know this is hard to see, but that is 12 drops of a liquid sucralose. That's going to add no carbs to my fudge. Very important for this. And this is 1/4 teaspoon of raspberry extract. You can just about add any flavor you wanted to. I felt like a raspberry chocolate feeling today. Now while that's melting up, I'm going to go and chop up my chocolate. Okay, now while my butter is melting, I'm going to work with my chocolate. This is just a square, 1 ounce square of unsweetened baker's chocolate. Now to make the melting easier on this, I'm just going to slice this up a bit. As you can see, it's going to kind of crumble. There's not a lot of fat holding this together. It's a little bit of cocoa butter and a lot of cocoa solids. And as anybody knows who's ever just tried to melt one of these and sweeten it, it doesn't work so well. It stays very bitter. But as you can see, this crumbles pretty easily. And the nice small pieces will help my chocolate to melt really quickly. Okay, now my butter, as you can see, is melted up nicely here. So I'm just going to add my chocolate to it. As you can see, that chocolate started to melt right away. That's a good thing. If you use too much heat with chocolate, you'll burn it, and then it will just be nasty and terrible and bitter. So patience. You'll be well rewarded. You want to stir this and keep this moving until all those chunks in there, some of the bigger ones they got through. I'm trying to see if I can pull one up for you. Until all they get nice and melty and smooth. It won't take long if you have chocolate shaved nicely. There we go. Now that my chocolate is all nice and melted smooth, I'm going to add in 1/4 cup of heavy cream. And I just want to keep stirring that, and stirring until it's all one color of brown. Looks so good. Now's the time to give this a quick taste. If it's not quite sweet enough for you, feel free to add a few more drops of liquid sucralose. There we go. This is good for me. This is nice and kind of a semi-sweet, bittersweet. It's yummy. Well, now that I'm done with the cooking, I need to think about storage. Now this fudge does have to be refrigerated. It is mostly butter after all. It's going to need several hours in the fridge to really set up. So what I want here is one of these, plastic bins that comes with a lid. And I've actually lined it with a little bit of plastic wrap. And that's just going to make it easier to lift my fudge out and cut it later. Now on with the top and into the fridge. Now if you're going to make this up as a present for somebody else who is a low carber, I would certainly recommend making a nicer presentation. Either serve it up in a pretty ramekin, or perhaps if you ever in the craft stores, you'll find various food-related container items that would be good for something like this. What I would not recommend is trying to mold it into candy molds. It's a little too soft for that, it's going to stick to the sides, and you're just not going to be happy with the result. Alright, here is my finished fudge. Now, as you can see, I can easily get 4 very nice sized pieces of fudge. Or you can cut into 8 pieces and have 8 servings of 1 carb each. See all of that? Nice sized piece, just 1 carb. Well, there you go, a simple, delicious, low-carb fudge. It is only about 2 carbs net per serving, 4 servings for the amount I made today. You could certainly easily double, triple, or even quadruple this recipe without any ill effects, except perhaps your waistline line if you eat too many all at once. Well, for this recipe and many others, please visit my website, kitchentableproductions.net. I'm Jessica Brevort, and this has been Kitchen Table Productions.